Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I am talking about watches. Today I am doing the full review of a watch that I have absolutely loved wearing. It is the Steinhardt Ocean One 39 Black Ceramic. This watch is wonderful. I am super impressed by it. And it's a watch from a brand that I've wanted to own for some time. I've been keeping my eye on the market, been keeping my eye on what watches they have available. I've read lots of reviews about Steinhardt. I've watched lots of reviews about their watches. And when I was able to grab this one, I absolutely dived on board and I grabbed it. And if you are interested in one of these watches, I have no affiliations to Steinhardt whatsoever. But when I looked on their official website, they're selling for around about 680 Australian dollars. And I think at that sort of price, this is actually a really good watch. I think it is much better than some of the other sort of variations of the Submariner homages that I've seen out there, and it's not so overpriced that it's well beyond people's budgets. I'm not saying that it's a super cheap watch, but I think it is actually really well priced for what you're getting out of this one. And on that note, I have experienced quite a few Submariner homages now. I've seen lots of reviews on Submariner homages, and I've sort of come to terms with the fact that this is by far the best Submariner homage that I've ever experienced. There is something very special about it. It is so well made, it has such a lovely caliber movement inside of it, and it is just a really nice watch to wear and to own. So let me show you why I like this watch so much, and let me do a full review of it for you right now. Let's flip the camera and let's check it out. So I've been really excited about owning a Steinhardt. I've wanted one for a while, and this one has not let me down. And the first thing that I absolutely adore about it is the amazing packaging that it comes in. And a watch at this price to come with such lovely packaging, it's really impressive. Two-part packaging, really nice case. Certainly feel like the watch is going to be safe in there as well. And it even presents really well. Have a look at that. Look at that. It's just very pretty. Nice case. Absolutely love it. And for something a little bit different, let's flip the review around a little bit. And I'm going to talk about why I love this watch so much before I even talk about all the features about it. And I think there's two reasons why I like watches. There are watches that sort of tick all the boxes in my head that I sort of want. So I'm going, I want a watch that does this and this, tick. And if a watch ticks all those boxes, then I really like the watch. There are other watches where I just have this emotional connection to them, and I sort of say there's like a heart connection to it. I sort of pick it up and I go, oh, I really like it. I really enjoy holding this watch. I really enjoy sort of wearing this watch. And then occasionally there's watches that have both of those features. It ticks off the head box, it ticks off all the sort of features that I want to have a watch, and it ticks that heart box for me, that sort of really emotional connection. And this watch is absolutely one of those watches. It is absolutely my head and my heart both love this watch, which is why I like it so much. And one of the reasons why I like it so much is the sizing. As you expect, it being called a 39 Ocean One, it has a 39mm case diameter. It has a really lovely slim 12.7mm thickness. That's without that Cyclops. Lug to lug, 46mm, so this one's going to suit a lot of different people, and we have a lug width of 20mm. Now, sized to my wrist, which is 6 3/4, this one weighs in at almost perfect sort of features of 151 grams, which for a slightly smaller watch, yeah, is probably slightly heavier than you expect, but it really gives you that nice sort of quality feel, having that little bit of extra weight. And let's talk about some of the amazing features of this watch. We have a ceramic bezel insert. It has sapphire crystal. It has lovely amount of anti-reflective coating. It has 300 meters of water resistance. And inside, powering this one, we have a Swiss ETA 2824-2 automatic movement, which just makes all of this watch just feel so good. But let's have a closer look, shall we? Now, from a looks perspective, there's nothing too surprising here because obviously it being a Submariner homage, it has to look a certain way. But it has a matte black dial, has a printed minute track with slightly larger at the hours sections there, Steinhardt logo, Ocean One, 300 meters, automatic movement, professional, all printed on in white, Swiss made at the 6 o'clock. We have applied indices all the way around. They are a polished silver metal with lumen side. We have polished silver metal on the hands. that Mercedes hands as we expect, and the little mid lollipop on the second. They are all lume filled as well. We have the date at the 3 o'clock and the Cyclops as we would expect on this particular homage. Now, what I do want to say about the Cyclops, I'm not a huge Cyclops fan, but I've owned a few watches with them, and this by far is the best Cyclops that I've had on any watch. Both the looks, the feel, and the actual usability of it. It really does magnify that date really well. That black ceramic bezel insert, obviously being called the black ceramic, they're really wanting to identify this feature. It is very nice, it feels good, it looks good. The bezel itself has that very much that Rolex style indentations or markings on it, so you get a nice grip. It has a very, very firm feel to it, that really nice sound. Yeah, that's a wonderful, absolutely no movement or backplay whatsoever. Very sort of solid. I certainly have complete confidence that it would not be moving around on me day to day. And if we look at the 12 o'clock, it all lines up really well. The lume on this one here contains a BGW9. I'll throw some lume video in now because it's very good lume. Some of the better lume that I've seen on any of the watches that I've owned in recent years. So really impressed by that as well. Steinhardt here is just pulling out all the punches for this watch. I think it just ticks so many of the boxes that I just want from a watch. Let's check out some of the other features. The case, nicely polished along the sides, polished on the other side, really nice sort of logo etched into there, real nice 3D feel to it. Obviously guarded crown there. On the top we have a brushed top, really nice integrated solid end links with female links on there. Fit absolutely stunning. Yeah, there is absolutely no movement, no play. And the integration is actually really good as well. It really does feel like it's designed for this watch. And you don't always get that on every watch, unfortunately. This one here, it is a bit of a standout feature. There's a bit of taper on the bracelet itself. Bracelet is wonderful. It feels really good, really well made. Very soft to the touch, no sharp edges whatsoever. Polishing along the sides. We have screw links, which is nice to see as well. Just, yeah, when you pick it up, you have that nice feel. You know, when you touch a watch and it's just, yeah, it feels good. Whereas some others, especially some perhaps slightly more affordable watches, have a few little rough or sharp edges. This one here certainly feels like all those have been taken out. Really nice fit and finish. The clasp is fully milled, as you would expect. Lots of micro adjust. No divers extension, which I'm really happy about. This sort of watch, I don't really want that. The one thing, not my favorite style of clasp, with it only being a friction lock, but I am going to say something. It works really well and really easily. It has a really nice clunk. It really fits well. Some of the others that I've had are really hard. Every time I pull them, I pull out my thumbnail. This one, not at all. And we have the pushover safety, which fits really nicely. Has the Steinhardt logo etched into it. Yeah, very nice. It just, yeah, everything feels good about this watch. Absolutely amazing. You can probably start to see some of the reasons why I'm really impressed by this watch. As mentioned, we have the Swiss-made ETA 2824, which has hand winding, and it has hacking. And let's stick on the time grapher to see how this Swiss movement is performing for us. So I am not going to be complaining about those figures, are we? Running dead on, and to be honest, in real life I've been noticing that it's been running really well as well. Reasonable amplitude, I think that's actually really good. 286, minimal beat error, absolutely happy with that. And as you can see, it's a high beat movement, 28,800 vibrations. Absolutely lovely. Can't ask for more from a watch. And how does it look on wrist? I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist for your reference. It is a lovely size, that 39 millimeters. It really hits a sweet spot. I like watches that can go down to around about 38 millimeters and generally up to around about 42 millimeters. And depending on the watch, I'm happy to go a little bit bigger, but they have to be the right watch for it. But if you're talking about the correct numbers for me, 39 millimeters, oh, absolutely. This could absolutely be an everyday watch. It could be a one watch only collection as well. It's such a nice watch. It sits well on wrist as well. You can see it does sit up a little bit. That's just because the case here is a little bit thinner compared to the case back. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Very comfortable as well. I love when you put a watch on and you like everything about it, and then when you put it on, it just feels right as well. I know a lot of watches feel good, but some do feel a little bit better than others, and this one definitely does feel a little bit better than others. It is stunning. I really do like it. And I almost forgot to show you one of my favorite features of watches is the case back. And this is a particularly cool case back. It's only etched in fairly lightly, but it is fairly soft to the touch. Being a subby homage, quite often these end up being a sort of a sterile case back. So I actually like to see something there, gives the watch a little bit of something. Plus that's the brand's logo, and it's nice to be able to tie it into the brand as well. Absolutely wonderful. So what do I like about this watch? What don't I like about this watch, and what would I change? Well, as I've already mentioned many times so far in this video, I like everything about this watch. Fit, finish, feel, the movement is absolutely stunning. I'm certainly never ever going to complain about that movement. Really like the nice signed crown. Case back is very cool. Really nice bracelet and clasp. And realistically, I think my favorite part is just the feel of it. It just feels right on wrist, and it just feels really good quality as well. What don't I like about it? Oh, well, well, nothing. There's not that much that I don't like about it. If I was going to be picky, it's more about my own opinions. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Cyclopses on watches, so this as a no date, no Cyclops version, I'd probably like better, but that's my own fault. I chose to buy this one. Nothing taking away from this watch whatsoever. What would I change? Well, just that. I guess I probably still would rather go the twin pushers rather than the friction lock, but best friction clasp I've ever seen and never felt. I really can't say it enough because usually I lose my thumbnail every time I try these things. This one, perfect, and it has a really nice little solid feel to it as well. So no complaints about that either. So really not much to change, not much to dislike, just a great watch, just a great brand. I can't wait to actually experience some more from this brand. But let's flip the camera around now and I'll give you some of my further final thoughts about this watch. So as I mentioned, this is by far the best subby homage that I have experienced. And it does that on quite a few different levels. Firstly, the looks, the quality, the feel, the fit, the finish, the movement, and the wearability of it. There's something just very special about this watch when it's on your wrist. And like I said, I've owned quite a few different Submariner homages, and I've liked every single one that I have owned. But there's always been a little bit of a niggle to it, whether there's not sort of an emotional connection to the watch, or perhaps it hasn't ticked all the boxes that I wanted from a watch, perhaps it's not finished as well as I would like, or perhaps there's just not enough character to the watch. This one here ticks all those boxes. I think it is a wonderful watch, and I have that real emotional connection to it, like you do with some watches when you sort of hold them and go, oh, I really like this watch. This is absolutely one of those watches. So if you are keen on a Steinhart, I absolutely full-heartedly would recommend them to you. It is certainly not going to be the last Steinhart watch that I own. Thank you so much for watching. I always really do appreciate it. I really do hope to see you in the next video.